Hello, everyone, and welcome to theCUBE's coverage of the AWS Financial Services Symposium here in New York City. I'm your host, Rebecca Knight. We've got two terrific guests for this next segment. I would like to welcome Armando Franco, Senior Director, Cloud and Platform Modernization at TEKsystems Global Services. Welcome, Armando.
Happy to be here, thank you.
And Tony DiBitetto, Director of AWS Sales and Solutions at TEKsystems Global Services. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, Rebecca, happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. So Armando, I'm going to start with you. Talk a little bit about what TEK Global Systems does for financial services customers.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you. TEK Global Services, we are an SI and we work with, I would have to say, 8 out of the top 10 banks in the United States. We are a services integrator and we are a premier partner with AWS. We help implement solutions to real business problems using the AWS technology stack.
Okay, so Tony, financial services is one of the most complex environments to modernize in. It's regulated, risk-averse, often running on infrastructure that has been in place for decades. What are some of the business challenges that you keep hearing time and time again from customers?
I think you hit the nail on the head, right? And it really depends on the customer and the maturity that they're at from their transformation, their cloud transformation. You know, we hear anything from, we've got infrastructure capacity issues, and obviously we've got to drive our infrastructure to the cloud. You know, working from the infrastructure out, we've got challenges around how can we better leverage AI and agentic experiences to be able to provide customer experiences, enhance customer experiences to our customers from a personalization perspective. You've got regulatory compliance, as you touched on, and so how do we make sure that when there's a regulatory change, how do we make sure that our customers are staying on top of the regulatory change and how those business processes are evolving, and then how the technology solutions need to evolve to those business processes to stay compliant. So yeah, it's a vast industry, and we're happy to be part of it, but there's a lot of complex things that we need to solve for.
A lot keeping people up at night.
Yep.
So Armando, let's talk about a customer story. You recently worked with a leading commercial bank that came to you with a problem with relationship managers. Walk us through the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. So the real problem there was how to empower these relationship managers to have access to data real time and to be able to solve questions from their customers quickly. And so the solution that we came up with is by building an intelligence layer on top of their data, and we were able to bring in the data so that the customer relationship managers had access to it, ask normal prompt questions, and then they were able to accelerate by at least 50%.
Wow, okay, and so you worked with another financial services organization on data compliance, which is a very different kind of challenge. What happened there?
Absolutely, so in that particular project, we needed to create a way to anonymize it was about 1.3 petabytes of data, about 13.5 billion objects. So that was across structured and unstructured data. So we had to create a solution that brought the data in, and then we created a LLM-based solution that identified what data needed to be anonymized, and we achieved 97.5% accuracy and 100% compliance.
Wow, these are pretty remarkable outcomes. So, Tony, for a financial services organization that is looking to start with TEKsystems, what does that journey look like from the initial conversation to when you are starting to see real results?
Yeah, it's something we take pride in. So, you know, we take relationships with our customers very seriously. It's our job to earn trust with them from day one. And we really have a proprietary methodology associated with that. So starting from the desired business outcomes, what's the North Star of that individual? Why is that a business driver or a pain point for the customer? And we start to map out what are the activities and the milestones that we need to achieve to enable that outcome, and then how is that going to be measured? And that's across our sales organization, into our pre-sales organization, and then when our project teams execute, we follow that same playbook. So what is the desired outcome? How are we measuring against that collaboratively, our project team and our customers? And that's all the way through. And so when we deliver success, we look at that, is that a reusable asset that we can reapply back into that customer environment? Or is that something else we can take to the market or to the industry and solve for again?
It sounds like tremendous learning is going on. So what, in terms of being here at this AWS Financial Services Symposium, what is your takeaway from today, Tony?
There's this thing called AI. I don't know if you've heard about it, or agents. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway, is that, all the way from the board of directors and the C-suite all the way down is what is the industry aligning to? How are they applying? What's the application for AI, right? What are the learnings from that? And then how can they take that back, and then how can they implement that in their own environment. I think that's the big takeaway is there's all this hype around it, but what is real? What are the tangible outcomes? And then how can we reapply it back to ourselves?
And how they're becoming fundamentally different businesses. Armando?
Yeah, I think if I could add to that, I would say that the question has changed from last year. Last year is, should we do AI? Now it's, what AI can we do in production, and what AI can we do quickly, safely, and securely within compliance? And that's where TEKsystems really comes in, because in order to do AI safely, you need to trust the data, you need to be able to govern the model, and you need to validate the results. And those are the principles that we build our solutions on.
Armando and Tony, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here. Thanks so much.
I'm Rebecca Knight. Stay tuned for more of theCUBE's coverage of the AWS Financial Services Symposium.